Well, good morning. Look how good you look. You must have had a great weekend. You're looking phenomenal. How are you?
It's gloomy.
It's gloomy.
But it's not cold.
You know what,
That's
though?
the good news.
It's not snowing either. It was snowing this morning when I came to work.
Was it?
Like, pretty heavy. Yeah. I actually stuck my wipers up because I thought it was going to snow all day. It was very heavy.
I had just a little bit on my car. It wasn't bad at all.
I didn't have any.
Got a sore throat, Lou.
I said, I have a sore throat. It's all good.
He made you sick? That man of yours.
That man of mine.
He went to the concert?
He went to the concert last night. Jim said he had such a good time. He went with his buddy Sobe.
We taled about it on Saturday morning, right? I think we talked. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why is it called Pigs?
I don't know.
It was the Pink Floyd tribute concert. It was at the theater center this weekend.
Yeah, he said he was front row center, and he said, boy, was it ever loud. He said, I'm getting so old. He really enjoyed it, though.
Good.
Yeah, he had a great time. I hope it sold out.
We went to the first anniversary of the Whiskey Barrel. That was a lot of fun.
How much fun would that have been?
It was packed.
I can't even believe it's a year. I haven't been in there yet.
I know.
Something called whiskey, and I haven't been there.
And they had live entertainment. Our friend Christina was there performing with her husband and a group, and it was so nice. It's just like, a little combo. So you got a little drum kit, 2 guitars, and a vocalist.
Nice.
And you could talk over,
It's not like, bah.
No, it was really, really great. And lots of really fun people.
Yeah?
Yeah, like a different...
that whole venue, I find, is set up to be cozy. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's not a huge place, but you were saying they had to turn some folks away.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because, it's very intimate, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. And then yesterday was really just a low-key day. I started watching The Crown again because it's back on Netflix.
Yes. Sarah's all excited about it, my daughter Sarah, but
It's weird how they do it, because they used a different cast. So a different woman is playing the Queen than played the Queen previously.
So what do you think of that? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Really?
And what was really neat was they start this. This is season 3, I believe. So they started off with the Queen's new profile being put on the postage stamp. And so she's standing there looking at the easels, and they show the profile of the previous actress, and then her profile as the younger, the younger Queen on the stamp and the older Queen on the stamp. So they actually acknowledge in their sort of cute way, quirky way, that it's a different person. And she's like, the profile changes over the years.
That's funny. I read that this season we'll see how sexually adventurous Princess Anne has been.
Princess Anne. They just introduced Princess Anne.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I watched all the 3 episodes.
Apparently she had some fun.
Did you ever hear about this terrible coal disaster in Wales? I think it was 1967.
No.
I remember when I was 5 years old, so I remember nothing about this. Apparently, it was a mining town in Wales, and they have these tippings, the piles of coal waste, I guess, that they're...
Okay.
But they're not supposed to be more than 20 feet high or 20 meters, I don't know. Anyway, this one particular village, the coal tippings, the residue that they get from mining the coals, was piled up so high they were almost like mountains, really. And then they had a lot of rain, and I guess what happens is with settling, and it causes sinkholes, and so there was an entire huge, almost like a mudslide, but it was coal.
Ew!
It buried a school.
No way!
125 people died. 116 of them were children.
Oh gosh! What a horrible
buried alive in their classroom, and then the family digging them out with their hands. Like, it was just, and then so the whole storyline was the Queen didn't go. It took her a week to get there. The Prime Minister of England went. I believe her husband went, Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, and but the Queen didn't go, and she said, we visit hospitals. There's the disaster site. She said, we visit hospitals, we don't visit.
She said that?
Yeah,
disaster sites?
We visit hospitals, we don't visit disaster sites.
Well, pardon me.
And so then she went.
You don't want to get your shoes dirty?
So then she went, and she had to meet victims and stuff, and she comes out of the school and wipes a tear away, and of course all the cameras flash, and later she's speaking to the Prime Minister in private in Buckingham Palace. They're having a meeting. She's angry with him because he basically forced her to go by going to the press. Anyway, what she says was she wasn't really crying. It was a fake tear that she wiped away because she's never been able to cry.
Ever?
She said when her father died, she couldn't cry. When her grandmother, Queen Victoria, died, she didn't cry. she said, and then at the very, very end, she's sitting listening to the record because they had all sung a hymn. The families all sang a hymn at the burial of the children, and she asked to hear what that hymn was. So somebody got her the album. So after everything ends, she's sitting all by herself in her throne room or whatever in her little chair, and she puts the album on. One tear. It was so.
No.
This actress is phenomenal. So
Wow.
Sorry, am I just going on and on about The Crown?
Apparently, and if you haven't watched it, you're filled in now.
I know, you don't even care.
No, we don't.
Sorry. Do you care about teddy bears?
I do, always.
Do you know where they got a name?
I do.
Where did Teddy Bear get his name from?
The president.
You're
Theodore
right, Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
1902, Brooklyn toymaker Morris Mitchin, whatever his name is. He named the teddy bear after Teddy Roosevelt. I did not know that.
Yeah. I'm not sure Teddy looked like a teddy.
I don't think he was very cuddly either.
No, he looked a little stoic, really.
And Sarah Palin?
Yes.
Okay, they're getting a divorce.
Right, I heard that.
After how many years? 31 years?
Yeah.
So she was on this Christian talk show. And the guy was asking her, like, what should we pray for you? And she said, pray for God's will to be done, but that God would make sure that we know that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. She's asking them to pray that her husband figures out he's making a mistake.
Oh my goodness. I think God's a little tied up.
She says that God also, she figures that God has kept her out of the spotlight recently so that she wouldn't be as public about this divorce. That's what it was, Sarah. What about the fact that you failed as a politician? That's what it was. It was God.
Or as a mother, or as a wife.
No. Anyway.
Sarah.
I can see Alaska from my house. No, I can see Russia from my house. Anyway.
Who's coming?
So many things going on. We've got St. Basil vendor sales. We've got Erica Hogan from Hogan Homestead has this really cool young entrepreneur program, and the Sault Symphony Orchestra is here. And Luann has the news, and it'll be way more interesting than my retelling of The Crown. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Last year we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Good morning, Allison Andress.
Good morning, Sam.
I just told Allison Andress, it sounds like a movie actress name. And now here you are on TV.
Here I am, that's right.
Allison is from St. Basil.
Yes.
You're a parent, are you?
I am a parent volunteer, yes.
Okay, and so you put together this fantastic seasonal, like a holiday,
Yeah,
really, eh?
absolutely.
Craft and vendor show.
Yeah, it's our second annual.
you did it last year
we
too?
did it last year just at the school.
Oh,
So this year we're trying something different. So
Getting
we've
a little
switched-
fancier this year.
We are, yeah. We switched to an evening, so we're doing it Thursday evening. It's at Grand Gardens.
Grand Gardens North.
Yes.
So that's Fourth Line.
That's right.
Okay, and Great Northern Road. That's a great venue. You also mentioned that you don't just have to go to shop from 5:30 to 9 p.m. You can actually enjoy a meal there. Grand Gardens will have their takeout open.
That's right.
So they're going to have a room set up to sit and eat.
I think so.
Yeah, and you're having a cash bar.
Yes, the bar will be available. Specialty holiday drinks.
Really?
Yes.
Fun. So you get to shop and really relax in a nice environment.
And it's decorated beautifully. It's all ready for Christmas, so it's a perfect place to get in the spirit.
Ken and Lee. Lee does a great
That's
job
right.
of decor there. How many vendors have you found?
We have 41. We're sold out. We have taken over the
Every
entire space.
table is-
Even the stage is full.
Isn't that nice to get that kind of support from people?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, is there an entry fee for the general public
Nope.
to come in? No.
Free.
Absolutely free.
Yeah, free. Come in and have a great
41
night.
vendors?
Yes.
What, can you give us some ideas of what we might find there?
We've got handcrafting, knitting, sewing. We've got jewelry. We've got the direct sales companies. We've got food, desserts that you can buy one and eat there, or you can buy a bunch and take home with you.
Really?
Absolutely. We've got clothing. We've got doll clothes, kids clothes, all handmade.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gifts for everyone.
How did you find these people?
Oh, they found me.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good for you. Now, other activities going on. You mentioned something about photos inside. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So we have a photographer that is doing photos. So you come and just have your picture taken, whether it's with a family or a bunch of girls or a husband and wife or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Have your picture taken, and then she will transpose it into either a snow globe or a Christmas ornament, and then email you the photo later in the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, but so you get an ornament
You get a photo of yourself in the ornament.
inside an ornament?
That's right.
Well, that's great for someone like me who really thinks. I mean, what could be prettier on a tree than me? And then the snow globe that shakies.
Yeah, so it's a
That's
photo
so
of you
cool.
inside the snow globe, and you can use that on Christmas cards, or you can email it, or anything.
Sure. Oh, how cute is that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, as far as the time again is
It's 5:30 to 9 on
5:30 to 9
Thursday
p.m.
night.
on this Thursday. Okay. And where will the funds be going at St. Basil?
It's going towards classroom allotment, so paying for buses for the students to go on school trips.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Is that how last year, did you do the same thing with the funds, or did they have a different purpose
I don't
last year?
remember what
Oh,
we used it
okay.
for last year.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's this Thursday, Grand Gardens North,
That's right.
5:30 to 9. You can have dinner there. You can have beverages there. Shop.
Absolutely. Come and enjoy yourself.
Because I'm not a crafty person, so it's a great thing to be
No,
able to go and
me
get some
either.
handmade craft.
That's right.
You aren't either.
No, not at
that's
all.
why Allison did this. This was her ulterior motive. You just want to be able to go and buy handmade goods.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
All
well,
my Christmas shopping.
Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks, Tim.
Check it out at the Grand Gardens North this Thursday, 5:30 to 9 p.m. in support of St. Basil School.
Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. We'll be back with Hogan Homesteads and a very interesting young entrepreneurial program coming up after this.
This is On TV.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
entrepreneur, junior entrepreneur, Peyton King. Hello, Peyton.
Hi.
Welcome back, Erica Hogan from Hogan Homesteads.
Thank you, Tim.
I love the fact that you have a Movember thing going on here.
Yes, and we're donating $1 for every sale that we make to the Movember cause.
Wait, so every sale you make this month in November,
Yes.
$1 is going toward men's health, which
Yes.
is prostate cancer.
So our
testicular
leaf grew
cancer.
a mustache, better than yours, but it grew a mustache.
Better than mine.
Yes.
Mine isn't growing so well because mine needs encouragement. It needs financial encouragement.
Maybe some maple syrup.
Peyton, maybe you can help me raise money because apparently you are quite the salesperson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me how this all began. You basically have created, because of you, Erica and Spencer, right? Have created a junior entrepreneur program at Hogan's Homesteads.
Yeah.
So tell me how this all started.
Well, it first started when my mom was doing a fundraiser for her daycare, and then
What's your mom's name?
Holly.
Hi, Holly. Okay.
She's probably got every link on everything.
So Holly was doing a fundraiser.
Yeah, and she did a fundraiser, and when she made all this money and was able to do a lot of things and sold all this maple syrup, I wanted to do it too. And I asked my mom, and she said to talk to Erica, so I talked to Erica, and then Erica told me to talk to Spencer, and it all became this
business that you started up. So basically, and the story goes that you and Spencer, your husband, your business, husband and business partner, knew your mom from school.
Yes.
And so now here you are, full circle. The child of your husband's old school friend is now an employee, basically. But she's not. Is she an employee or is she self-employed?
Self-employed. I would call her more as a contract, basically. The Junior Entrepreneur Program is meant for kids who want to learn about business and, profit a little bit of money in their savings or pay for extracurriculars to do it themselves. But we're here every step of the way. So she's representing Hogan's Homestead, but we're also representing her.
So Peyton, tell me, what was it like when you approached Spencer and said, I would like to sell your product?
Well, he said that he couldn't hire me straight away, that I had to go for a business meeting. So there was my mom had a Norwex thing, and we invited Erica, and Erica brought over this bin with all my contracts and everything that I would need, and said, here's a bin that you'll need. We will contact you. And
Did you have to get a resume together?
Yes, we had to do a resume and cover letter.
A cover letter and a resume, which is what you have to do when you apply for a job anywhere.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did you put on your resume? Volunteer work, stuff that you had done?
Yeah, I've done volunteer work at my barn and how I did babysitting with my little brother.
Right. No, that's good though, because that's what you want to show somebody, that you're responsible, that you have experience, right? That you're trustworthy. They want to see all of that through your resume. So then you had to sign a contract.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so what does that mean? So now, are you bound to her for the rest of your life? You're indentured to her, or no? Can you get out of this contract?
I can. I just have to give 2 weeks notice.
Phew. Okay, that's good, because I know that sometimes those contracts can be tricky. That's why I'm still here. So now, what about the products? Are you proud of the products that you sell?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about the products that you carry?
Well, we have coffee bean, and we also have ground coffee and decaf coffee.
And we partner with St. Joe's Island Roasters for that.
And this one is called Maple Magic, so there's a little theme going on with maple products, right?
You can smell it. It smells really good.
I can smell it. Look, I do smell the maple in there.
Now imagine drinking that.
I can't imagine. How much does this go for? No, we'll talk later. What else you got?
Well, this is pancake mix with already infused maple, and then you can even buy yeah, and then you can even buy the maple syrup to make it extra maple.
So you're upselling now. So what did you learn about price point and how to price things out? Did you get a lesson in that too?
Yeah, well, I have this booklet at home with an entire chart, and it's got the bottle price, the case price, and how much I would be making for profit.
The bottle price, the case price, and how much you make per profit. So you have to do a price breakdown to say, okay, so Erica, you were helping her on this,
Yes,
obviously.
absolutely.
Yeah, giving her guidance.
Yeah, we want all our junior entrepreneurs to know about their profit margins, and profit margins are huge because that can make or break any business, regardless if you're a junior entrepreneur or a business owner like us. If you don't know what your profit margins are, how can you grow, fix any issues? So we wanted her to realize what products are the most profitable, what ones should she really try and push, and what are the extra bonuses. And Peyton alone is 19% of our yearly sales.
Peyton is 19% of your annual sales. You said you started with 100 business cards, you have 50.
Yes.
What other sales techniques, what sales techniques do you, have you been using to reach out to get people to purchase the product? How do you reach your clients?
Well, I do have my email.
Email account, which is Peyton at hoganshomestead.ca.
Yes.
Her own email account. Okay,
yeah.
What else?
I have, when I do vendor sales, I do have a flashy table.
When you do vendor sales, so
Yeah,
you actually go and you'll rent a table at a vendor's market and you'll
Yeah.
sell the product. I hear you're going to St. Joe's Island this weekend.
Yes.
Okay,
on
she goes to
Saturday.
vendor sales and she has a flashy
Yeah,
table.
so she'll be there on Saturday at the Royal Canadian Legion from 10 to 4 for the holiday market on Saturday.
Okay, so you're spending your Saturdays working. Good for you. All right. So then, okay, so you've got vendor sales, you've got your email.
And I've got my Facebook account.
What's your Facebook? Is it titled?
It's the same thing as my email.
Which is Peyton at hoganshomestead.ca.
Yeah, so it's Peyton, Hogans Homestead,
And it's the
sales
same for
rep.
my
There's a picture of
Instagram.
you now posing. It's so cute. Look at you. Okay, and then what else?
Well, I've got my Instagram account, and my mom's friends love the maple syrup.
Yes.
Yeah, one of my mom's friend, Megan, she just ran out of cinnamon, and I had to give her my last one.
Cinnamon maple syrup?
Yeah, it's
cinnamon
delicious.
infused
We
like?
even have bourbon infused.
Keith, they got bourbon in their maple syrup.
And our new flavor coming out, which Peyton says is her favorite,
yeah,
is the cinnamon bourbon. Comes out 2020. Pre-sales will happen shortly, and those can go through Peyton.
This is phenomenal. What are you going to do with your money? Do you have plans? Are you saving money, or do you have?
So half of my profit,
That's none of my business.
half of my profit goes into a savings account, and the rest goes to hanging and going to the movies with my friends and.
So you give
family
yourself a
trips.
little bit of an allowance, and the rest you save,
Yes.
which is also very smart.
And that was part of the contract.
It was that she has to set some
Yes.
aside.
Because you never know with a rainy day.
You're gonna run this program again. Now that you
Yes.
got the binders, they made binders up for you and everything, right?
Yeah.
Now that this is done, Erica, you're going to continue this program on.
Absolutely. We're looking for another junior entrepreneur.
Okay.
We're asking for resumes to come in to info@hoganshomestead.ca. You can also check our website too for details.
And the website is
hoganshomestead.ca.
So if you have a young person who you think might be there it is. She shows me you're so good. www.hoganshomestead.ca. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to keep this though because I'm going to buy stuff from you. So if you have a child like Peyton, maybe not as brilliant as Peyton, but still. Who's interested in becoming an entrepreneur and selling this product and learning the tricks of the trade like you've learned. Would you recommend this to other kids?
Yes.
Yes.
Very much.
Very much.
Amazing.
All right. Yeah. Erica Hogan's Homesteads, and Peyton King, salesperson extraordinaire. Let's go buy some coffee. I'll go get my wallet. All right. We'll be back with Luann after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Thanks for being here.
John.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Go-getter, that Peyton King. She reminds me of myself when I was little, because I used to write newspapers in my house and sell them to my sisters for 5 cents. And then I'd also had Regal catalog. Remember Regal catalogs?
Regals are awesome.
Oh, my mother's bridge club. Every single one of them had ice cube trays and shower caddies, because I sold them Regal every time they came to the house for bridge.
Good for her. She did a great job, didn't she?
I thought I was the king of everything.
No, you're not.
Who is?
Kanye West.
Is he the king of everything?
He's the king of all that ever was and all that ever will be.
Is he getting a little carried away?
I feel like, if it's sincere, I like this Kanye better than the former Kanye. He's still full of himself, but he is now saying that he works for God. He appeared on Joel Osteen, and if you're not familiar with him, he has about 50,000 people go to his cathedral every Sunday.
That's super.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Wait a minute, though. He's got some scandal behind him.
Well, he's made some
anti-LGBTQ,
homophobic comments in the past. Joel Osteen, yes.
Yeah.
Whole huge conglomerate in Houston. He hosted Kanye West, and Kanye said that he calls himself the greatest artist that God has ever created.
That's so not true. That's me.
You're right.
Kanye's the greatest artist that God has ever created.
And that is why Kanye is able to work for God, because he is the greatest, as God is the greatest.
Okay. Well, good for him.
So they're tight.
Who's the one that wants to run for president? Is that Kanye too? Who said when I run in
2024 or something.
2024.
Yeah.
All right,
Kanye, buddy.
That's another.
You know what?
That's all we need is another person in the White House who says that he's the greatest thing that God ever made.
Run!
Yeah.
You know what though? I have to say his latest rap song, "Jesus is King" or something like that, is awesome.
It is, eh?
It's very gospel, very kind of old school.
Who's he married to?
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, there you go.
And she was in the front row, so they had to get a shot of her. And all,
in the church?
Yes, and all their 1,400 kids.
I wonder how much that guy Joel makes being a preacher in that church.
Oh, I don't think he's hurting.
Yeah.
I don't think he's hurting. So we have news coming up.
Will you do it, please?
I'm going to do the news, so stay with us.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my beard ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. but no way he's grown that in the weak ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. That one. The itchy ones. The never forgotten ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The started late ones. The absolutely filthy ones. The drawn-on ones. The finger ones. The pin ones. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Sign up now at Movember.com.
At their meeting tonight, City Council will have a chance to take a look at the preliminary budget for 2020 that includes a tax increase of over 3%. This 374-page document sees a municipal levy increase of 3.05%, which is approximately the requirement needed to offer the same amount of services in 2020, taking into account, of course, the cost increase of doing business. The budget also takes into account added costs the city has no control over, such as fuel, levy, negotiable salary increases, and local board requirements, with an estimated increase of 2.2% consumer price index. The largest expense in the $118.5 million municipal levy is the Public Works and Engineering Department, which accounts for 26% of the budget. Then local board and outside agencies take up 19%, community development and enterprise services and corporate capital and long-term debt each at 14%, levy boards at 12%, fire services at 8%, corporate services at 5%, and legal at 2%. The city's CAO, mayor, and council offices make up less than 1% of the expenses. Expenses for the preliminary budget see an increase of 2.74%, bringing it up to $181 million from the $176.2 million in 2019. Approximately one-third of this increase accounts for the levy boards, local boards, and outside agencies. The budget will be brought back to the table for deliberation on December 9th. The union representing Ontario's high school teachers will be releasing the results of their strike votes today. A media advisory also says the president of the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation will be talking about the union's next steps. The OSSTF is already in a legal strike position as of today, though it's also required to give 5 days notice before a strike and has not yet done that. 3 of Ontario's 4 major teachers' unions are taking steps toward potential strikes as they negotiate with the government for new contracts. Elementary teachers are set to start a Work to Rule campaign on November 26th that they say will target ministry and school board administrative tasks and will not affect student learning. Catholic teachers voted 97% in favor of a strike if necessary, although they are not yet in a legal strike position, while negotiations between the province and French teachers continue. Police said 10 people were shot and 4 of them were killed yesterday at a party in Fresno, California, when suspects sneaked into the backyard and fired into the crowd. The shooting took place about 6 p.m. on the city's southeast side while people were gathered to watch a football game. Deputy Chief Michael Reed told local media there that a total of 10 people were shot, with 3 people being found dead in the backyard. A 4th victim died at the hospital. 6 others are expected to survive, and some are in critical but stable condition. Police say family and friends got together to watch that game when unknown suspects approached the residence, snuck into the backyard, and opened fire. No suspect is in custody. The incident was at least the 2nd fatal gun attack yesterday. A man in his 20s was shot to death early yesterday at a home in another part of the city. Police have not said whether the 2 incidents could be connected. Police breached a Hong Kong University campus held by protesters early today after an all-night siege that included firing repeated barrages of tear gas and water cannons. Anti-government protesters have barricaded themselves inside Hong Kong Polytechnic University for days now. Police surrounded the area last night and began moving in after issuing an ultimatum for people to leave the area. Riot officers broke in one entrance before dawn as fires raged inside and outside the school, but they didn't appear to get very far. Fiery explosions could be seen as protesters responded with gasoline bombs. Police, who have warned that everyone in the area could be charged with rioting, reportedly made a handful of arrests. At daybreak, protesters remained in control of most of the campus. A lull settled on the area as the president of the university said in a video message that police have agreed to suspend their use of force. As Prime Minister Justin Trudeau settles on his choices for his new cabinet this week, he'll need to deny high-profile executive posts to some MPs in his government and ask them to take on the often unsung roles in the House of Commons that will be critical to keeping the Liberals in power and their agenda moving. In a minority government, the jobs of government House Leader, Chief Whip, and committee chairs will be far more important than they were when Trudeau commanded a majority in the Commons. Vice President at Hill and Knowlton and a longtime Liberal staffer, Kevin Bosch, is well versed with the ins and outs of how Parliament functions, and he said those roles are often filled after cabinet is chosen. But with a minority government, Trudeau must consider who will fill them at the same time. Both bilingualism and strong negotiating skills are essential in this minority situation.
Past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
want to say a huge thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show for us every morning, even through the weekend. They are so good to us. We really appreciate it. I have some health updates for some celebrities because they called and said, you know, what would you do if this happened to you, Lou? So I told Derek Hoff, who is a judge.
Dancing with the Star.
No. World of Dance.
Where did he start?
He was a professional
Dancing
on
with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
And now he's on the other show with J-Lo.
Yes, World of Dance
World of
it's
Dance.
called, and he's a judge. He had an appendicitis attack and had to have emergency surgery.
Ooh.
Imagine? Because that's painful and that's scary.
Do you know? Have you ever had?
No.
No, me
My
neither.
mom has.
Really?
Yeah, and it burst.
Oh!
Yeah, not
They have
good.
to catch that in the nick of time, don't they? Because you can get toxic, can't
yes,
you?
she did.
Your mother went?
Yeah.
Did they go septic like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Is Derek okay?
Yeah, he was fine. He said he woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, totally sharp pain in his side, and thought, you know what, something's not right. So he went, and then thankfully he went because they did the surgery tickety-boo.
I wonder if he saw the president when he was in the hospital.
The president?
Did you not hear that Donald Trump got rushed to the hospital? But they're saying, and they were lying, and well, okay, they don't. Donald Trump went to the hospital, and they said that it was part of his annual checkup. But it was not on his calendar. It was a Saturday afternoon at 2:30, and they said, oh, he's fine. No, and he tweeted out saying, oh, yes, just routine, part of my checkup. We'll finish up later. And now they're saying this is total BS, that he would never, the last time he had his physical, which was only like earlier this year, he wouldn't have had another one at this point anyway. Right. And then if it had one, it would have been on his calendar. It wouldn't have just been out of the blue, and it wouldn't have been on a Saturday.
So was he actually at the hospital though?
He was. They took him to the hospital.
But they don't know why.
And there's already 24/7 in the White House. There's already somebody there on staff. There's already like a first aid place on staff.
Well, so he's under a little bit of pressure right now.
Well, they think maybe it was chest pains. But so what they're saying is, oh sure, Hillary Clinton sneezed, and everybody's like, she's dying.
Yeah.
And that he can get rushed to the hospital. It's part of my checkup.
Interesting.
But Derek's okay?
Derek's good. Yes, they got it in time. Ariana Grande had to cancel a concert last night. She woke up like 10 times, she said in some Instagrams. Her throat was so sore. She's on IV. She's taken all kinds of meds. She took a shot of herself inhaling through a humidifier. So I'm thinking, if you're talking that much on Instagram, how sick are you, honey? Stop talking.
Luann, you said you have a sore throat too, right? So stop talking. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up after this break is Dr. John Wilkinson, the conductor and musical director of the Sault Symphony Orchestra, talking about what's coming up for Christmas. We'll be right back after this.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Welcome back. Hi, John Wilkinson.
Hi, Tim.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
John, I had no idea, John. I asked you, how long has the Symphony been around? 48 years. How long have you been with the Symphony? 43?
43, yeah.
43 years you've been the musical director?
That's right.
Well, good for you for not being burnt out yet. That's a lot. I don't think people, can you explain what your role is with the Symphony? I mean, what you, no, you don't just conduct. There's a lot more to what you do.
There's way more. But, basically it's sort of picking the overall musical direction of what's going on. In a great big orchestra, like a Toronto Symphony, somebody would be the musical director, but they wouldn't do all the concerts.
Okay.
So they'd have guest conductors. So then they sort of use the phrase for two different things. So the musical director is sort of the overall...
Plans the season.
Yeah.
Does all the...
So on a small scale, in smaller orchestras, well, you end up being both.
Double duty. Yeah. But so not only do you work with the board when you choose the season, or do they pretty much say, John, do your thing, because you know what you're doing?
It's pretty much figuring out what is feasible with the skills and the budget and
you know your players and you know who you can bring in, budgeting, because sometimes you bring in guest players and that will also change the season.
Sure.
And not only that, all the contracting, you do all that too, right? So all of the rights.
Not all of that.
Not all of it. Okay. No. Wow. And then you actually conduct. What do you play?
I'm a clarinetist by trade.
You are. Okay. Yeah. 40. Did you go to conductor school or something? Is there a thing for that?
There is.
There is. And your doctorate is in?
Actually, my doctorate's in clarinet, but in a sense, I got another doctorate in conducting because I went through a lot of stuff, but I didn't bother to do it as a degree.
Imagine that he's a doctorate in clarinet. If you have a broken clarinet, he can fix it. No, that's just kidding. Okay, so okay, so coming up this Christmas, you're getting us into the Christmas spirit with your offering of
the Nutcracker, the complete ballet.
So ballet organ, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Ballet organ. They've been to the Sault several times before.
I think this is about the 7th time we've had some affiliation with them. I think we've done the Nutcracker about 4 previous times, and then 2 other ballets with them that they were touring, and then the current one. So it's a 6th or 7th time.
They've had great success, haven't they? They've expanded.
They're a really going concern right across Canada.
Canadian ballet company based in Toronto.
Based in Toronto.
Doing original works, really, aren't they? I mean, they put pieces together.
Well, yes and no. They do original works, but the Nutcracker is something that just happens every year.
So whose music is this, the Nutcracker?
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But why is it called the Canadian Nutcracker?
It's the Canadian Nutcracker because Bengt Jorgen,
yes,
the artistic director,
okay,
and co-founder of the company, had this idea of sort of tweaking the Nutcracker story and making, instead of the setting sort of being nominally in Russia, now it's in Canada.
Oh!
So we have group of 7 backdrops.
Really?
Right, and we have other Canadian effects. There's actually a canoe that goes across. Anyway, it's actually visually the costuming is kind of it's kind of a blend. It's not quite the same as one would see in a traditional Nutcracker, but it is pretty close. And the second act, it is pretty much almost the same. But anyway, it's quite an interesting take on it without being very radical. I think it's very easy to deal with.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How many performances, John?
Oh no!
Only one.
One.
You get one chance to see this.
And there are about 90 seats left.
Out of the 900 and whatever, or 800 and whatever there are in that theater, 850 something. How many?
By the time we take the front row out.
Oh, you take the front row because that's a beautiful shot of the theater, isn't it?
It is.
So you will not be on the stage. You'll be in front of the stage.
Right. So the part of the stage that's raised here, the curved part, that'll go down. That goes down, and that helps create some space for orchestra. But that's not big enough.
So you're taking the front 1 or 2 rows.
Just one.
Front row out, and you'll be all around the stage so that they actually have room to perform the ballet.
Yeah.
How many in the cast? Do you know? Are you familiar with the numbers?
Ooh, I have the cast list right there, but I didn't count. And so it looks like about 30 or
30 about 30 on stage. And how many in the pit? Or in the symphony are playing? Is this the full symphony?
Yes. I don't know. It's about 50-ish.
You have that many members right now? 50. 50-ish.
Well, I don't know. I worry about the musical part. It's like having the characters on stage in the story, right? You might have some more extras in a crowd scene, but you got to have the characters.
Right. Now, maybe people don't even realize what the symphony orchestra is. This is all volunteer.
Almost all volunteer. We have to bring in some people. Yeah.
Well, yeah, some people are paid, but for the most part, these musicians all have day jobs. Most have days. Some are retired, some are students.
Some are retired, yeah.
And you have students as well.
I don't currently.
Not right now,
students, no.
But you like to have young musicians, don't you, John?
I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
Of course. But there are students in the orchestra, though.
That's what what I meant. Yes, in the orchestra.
In the orchestra, yes.
There are students. Okay, and then so you rehearse how often? Every Monday?
Every Monday for the last 43 years.
And the performance runs about, you said about 80 minutes with an intermission.
80 minutes with an intermission, you're right. So it feels like a full evening, but it's not a big, long event because
which is great for if you want to bring children.
Yes.
Children will really enjoy this and they won't get too restless. And there's lots of, I remember when I was young, there was a record series that came out where you could listen to something like Peter and the Wolf or something, and then you had to identify the instruments and listen because each instrument was a different voice kind of thing in that particular musical. So really for children, it can be very, very entertaining and also educational to go and hear these sort of different
I think
themes and stuff, right?
I think children that are into dance, of course, would really like it, but I think children in general would enjoy it because it's so visual.
Right.
I mean, if you go to a symphony concert, the violinist going up and down is somewhat interesting, but
not for a child so much.
Not so for a child so much, because you're trying to create a musical message. This has got a visual message.
Colorful.
So it's
Christmassy,
colorful. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And does the symphony dress up at all?
We did that for Halloween. You should have seen us.
You had a contest too, didn't you?
We had a contest, right? And the Woodwinds, Colonel Sanders, and the Chickens won the award for best costumes in the Woodwind section. Yes.
So, okay, the tickets are available where, John?
At the Station Mall box office.
At the Station Mall box office, which also means you can go online, which is SAULT, CTC, Sault Community Theatre Center, SaultCTC.ca. You can purchase your tickets online. If you have a credit card, you can do online purchase, PayPal, whatever. At the box office, and then chances are, don't just show up at the door because this thing's going to sell out.
It probably will.
Yeah. Congratulations on the success of the show. And you're going to come back on the show in the new year, I hope, to tell us about the rest of the season.
I would be delighted to.
I'd be delighted to see you then.
Okay.
Dr. John Wilkinson, the Sault Symphony Orchestra presenting the Canadian Nutcracker at the Sault Community Theatre Centre. And the date of the performance, John?
This Saturday, November 23rd.
Saturday, November the 23rd. And we'll be back with Luann just after this.
past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
And once again, a huge thank you to Casey's Security for sponsoring the show. This is a beautiful set now. It's lovely.
It is. And we have this can be turned into a fireplace. You watch, someday we're going to have a little fire here.
Yes.
And I'm going to call my friend Aaron.
Yes.
I know how to put out a fire. I know how to end a show too.
Yes, you do.
By doing this. Thanks for watching us today on Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be back tomorrow morning live at 8 a.m. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.